Hello all, welcome to Legal Talks by Desi Kanoon. I am Suyash and I am excited to have started this show. On today's show, we are going to talk about a very important judicial pronouncement given by the Supreme Court of India. It relates to installation of CCTV cameras in the police stations across the country. As all of us know, that human rights abuse and violations is a big issue in the police stations across India, and the courts are cognizant about this fact and have directed the state to implement certain mandatory steps in this regard. The case that we intend to discuss today is Paramveer Singh Saini versus Baljit Singh and others. On 2nd of December 2020, the Supreme Court directed the state to set up state level oversight committees and district level oversight committees to look after the installation of CCTV cameras in the police stations, and they also directed the state to look after the budgetary allocations, continuous monitoring, inspection, grievance redressal, and reviewing of CCTV footage to check for any human rights violation that may have occurred but not reported. Now, what is the backdrop of this judgment? Another judgment, Shafi Mohammed versus State of Himachal Pradesh, was pronounced earlier by this court, and it directed that a central oversight body be set up by the Ministry of Home Affairs to implement the plan of action with respect to the use of videography in the crime scenes during the investigation. Later on, the court also asked the state to look into the question of audio video recordings of the Section 161 statement that is recorded before the police in case a crime happens, and installation of CCTV cameras in the police stations. However, the states have not taken much steps in this regard, and this issue has been in a cold baggage till now. Now let us discuss the directions that have been given by the court. The first question in this regard is, who is responsible for installing CCTVs in the police stations? In this judgment, the court has held that it is the duty of the SHO, that is the station house officer of the police station concerned, to look after the working, maintenance and recording of CCTVs, and he shall coordinate with the district level oversight committee to take care of this matter. So, where are the CCTVs to be installed in the police stations? The Supreme Court has given a very comprehensive judgment. It has even specified the points and places in the police station where these cameras have to be installed. These places and points include all entry and exit points of the police station, main gate of the police station, all lockups, corridors, lobby, reception, verandas, outhouses, inspector, sub-inspector and duty officer's room, areas outside the lockup room, station hall, in front of the police station compound, outside washroom and toilets, and back part of the police station. So virtually every point that could have been covered and every place that exists in a police station has been specified by the court, and the CCTV's cameras are to be set up in all these places. Further, the court did not stop here. It has also provided the minimum requirements that are to be fulfilled by all the police stations in relation to these CCTVs. There must be night vision in the CCTVs. The feature of audio video recording in the CCTVs is a must. There must be continuous electricity supply to the CCTVs. Internet connectivity also has to be there in the CCTVs. And lastly, these CCTV recordings are to be preserved for 18 months. And in any case, if there is any trouble, it cannot be for less than an year. So Supreme Court has taken all these steps to make sure that this judgment is comprehensive and it does not remain a dead letter, or does not lead the state to think that they can merely install CCTV cameras and do not take care of its maintenance or its working. This cannot be the case. Further, the court also specified the steps to be taken where there is a complaint of force being used in the police stations. In case there is complaint of force being used, resulting into serious injury or custodial death, then the persons who are the victims, are free to complain for redressal of the same. Also, the court has directed the states to set up human rights court in each every district of the country so that such courts can immediately summon CCTV footage as and when required. Now, this judgment is not only applicable on the police stations. The court has also directed that all the investigating agencies, including the CBI, NIA, Enforcement Directorate, Narcotics Control Bureau, Department of Revenue Intelligence, Serious Fraud Investigation Office, and all the agencies that carry out interrogations and have the power of arrest have to install CCTV cameras in all their offices. This is quite a big thing. And how would the people know about the existence of these CCTV cameras? The court has taken care of this aspect as well. And the court has directed that all the police stations and investigating agencies shall prominently display at the entrance and inside their campus about the coverage of the concerned premises by CCTV, and also mention that a person has right to complain about human rights violations, and this has to be done by large posters. It has been specifically stated by the court that this has to be done by large posters in three languages: English, Hindi, and vernacular. So what are my concluding remarks? I think it is one of the most important judgment of this decade by the Supreme Court. Its importance cannot be overstated since flagrant abuse of human rights is very common in the police stations. Now, mandatory installation of CCTVs would ensure that the errant police officials are not able to get away without any consequences. What remains to be seen is the actual implementation of this judgment by the concerned states and the Union of India. The state might say that they do not have enough funds and to carry on this exercise, and this is a very big hurdle before the courts, as implementation is something that cannot be done by the courts. It is purely the domain of the executive. Nevertheless, since a judgment has been passed, it is only a matter of time that it will be implemented. I hope that it is done sooner rather than later. Also, in the time of COVID-19, we have seen countless uses of disproportionate force by the police on the people of this country. I hope that these things will stop in the police stations in the times to come. So thank you very much for watching this show, listening to this show. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, Twitter, LinkedIn, Discord, Telegram, and Facebook. Thank you again. Stay tuned.